Go, get out of here. Go, get.
Hello and welcome back to Saber Outdoors. My name, of course, is Mark Alexander, your wonderful host. And guys, today we're going to be bushcrafting again. Guys, you saw in the title, we're going to make bushcraft tongs. Why did I make that motion? I don't know. But guys, we're going to make bushcraft tongs, which basically means we're going to make something from nothing for those of you that don't know what bushcrafting is. That means you go off into the woods, you find sticks, you have materials. We have our 3 bushcrafting tools. By the way, go watch that video if you haven't. Plus some cordage and a ferro rod to make ourselves some tongs today. Now, why would you need to make tongs? Tongs are, you grill with tongs. Why do you need to make tongs? Well, let me tell you something. When you need something to move something hot, some kind of food, I actually made tongs one time for a buddy's barbecue because for some reason all the tongs were missing and it was a time which nothing was open. But Mark T was there and his brain was there, and he said, give me a minute, let me walk off in the woods. And I went and got tongs from the woods and made them on the spot. And the guy used them, said it was a lot better than nothing. Then it wasn't as good as store-bought tongs, of course, because they were made of wood, not steel. But guys, something that works is a lot better than something that doesn't work. And speaking of something that doesn't work, I'm not working right now, so I'm gonna go work on some tongs. There's a tree up here that it's almost too small for our purpose, but I think it's gonna be okay. So I'm gonna get up on this hillside. I'm gonna see if I can get this thing down. And guys, we're gonna take this stick back over yonder and see if we can get these tongs made. All right, guys, we've got our little stick here, and we've got a little bit of a raw end, kind of not flat. I want a flat end, so I'm gonna just real gentle like. Let's get above this split. I'm trying to get out of this split. God bless, it keeps wanting to split on me. That'd be great if I were doing other projects, but not this one. There we go. Finally got out of it. But guys, we needed a flat end we needed a square end on that end. Now we've got this brushy part. We're gonna cut it off too. I hit you all with that, sorry. But what we want is a couple of nice straight sections. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my little hatchet and I'm gonna try to cut nice sections off. So I've got a little wiggle right there, so I don't want that little section for this part, but I can knock it off like that. And then I need one more thing. Let me get our first piece and kind of measure against the new piece I'm trying to cut. So I've made my mark. I don't need these exact, but I want them kind of close. All right, so I've got 2 pieces for my long pieces. Now I need that one crooked piece, and you'll see why in just a moment. Now on this project, I need a little bit of a crossbar. So I'm gonna take the thicker end of this, and I'm gonna be very careful not to whack my fingers because I don't wanna lose them. And I'm gonna cut that off. Pick it up off the ground, and we've got all our pieces now. Now we just gotta get them all tied together. So let's do that. All right guys, so we've got our pieces, and I'm gonna have just a string, and you can see this string is only about half of my wingspan. It's almost perfectly half if I weren't holding it, of course. But let us see how we can get this done with a not very large amount of cordage. So first thing to do, pick which end you want to be your ends and which ones you want to be your butts. Guys, believe I'm gonna make my ends these two. I think I will. Yeah, ends, butts. So first thing you've got to do, tie up the butts. So I usually put them in my armpit. And guys, we're not using a complicated, like, you know, blah, 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 restrictor knot, blah, 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 big fancy knot. We're gonna do an overhand knot. And then we're gonna turn this over. We're gonna turn this over and we're gonna do another overhand knot. I know, complicated. Dogs. Guys, I got dogs coming, so we may have some puppies to pet. Guys, they were not friendly, so I've yelled at them. I've sent them on their way. I thought I was about to have some live action right there. I think they're suitably chastened. But guys, if you see me get up and get angry, you know why. And I'm not without tools. I mean, I've got a good whooping stick here. I got me a good whooping stick here, and I've got my hatchet, of course. By God, I think they're gonna come back. Yep, here they come.
Go, get out of here. Go, get. Go, get. Get on out of here.
Guys, I'm gonna put you on the other side of this here picnic table, because if they come back, I want to see them coming so I can defend myself. All right, all my supplies are on this side where I can keep a watch and make sure I have a long amount of warning if those dogs decide to come pay me another visit. But guys, we have our 2 sticks. I'm not sure exactly where I was because that did catch me off guard. But I tied me an overhand knot and then turned it over and tied me another overhand knot on the opposite side. Now this isn't gonna be super tight right now. Actually, with this particular cord, I'm gonna do a square knot. I'm gonna basically do 2 overhand knots together. There. That way that'll stay a little bit better. But guys, you can see right now all we have is this. This won't grab onto anything, but we have our little chunk here. We take that and we put it in the middle of this. Now, when you first put it in, it's gonna want to do this. That's why when you pull it straight with each other, with the thing, that's going to put pressure on stuff. This might be a little bit too large for this, but I think it will work. Every time I hear one of them dogs bark in the distance, I'm like, I'm fixing to have to kill me a dog. But with any luck, they'll get enough sense to stay away from me. But I'm gonna take my end, I'm gonna put it over and over like that. It'll end up coming like this and then over like that. And I'm gonna do the same on the other side. I'm gonna bring it over and around, just like that. It'll make an X on your piece of wood. You can see that. Now, at this point, all you have to do is secure this, and you'll have your tongs made. Boom, over with. So, all you have to do is tie more overhand knots. Guys, this is not hard. I didn't pick a hard project for you all to start bushcrafting with. So overhand, another overhand. Simple and easy. Not a problem. Overhand and overhand. And you have a set of tongs. Now, these tongs, they're strong. Like I say, this here is about the limit, but you can see I can put those together. Now, to make it even better, we're going to take pocket knife, because you should have pocket knife everywhere along with your bushcraft knife. Actually, you know, just to keep things in spirit of things, I'm going to take and use my bushcraft knife. So I got bushcraft knife, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to flatten these out. Not a ton, but a little bit. And you can see it's trying to fall apart because it's loosened up on me. Oh no, my knot's come undone. Ha! Well guys, let me get my knot back in order. There we are. Now my knot's back in order. But let me get my knot retied because it came loose on me. But guys, that's why I say every time we do this kind of thing, I am functional, not professional. If you want a professional, somebody else is your guy. I'm functional. But let me get that retied so my piece isn't falling apart. Uno momento. All right, guys. So full disclosure, my knot came into everywhere. Like literally everywhere loosened up. So we're basically going to start over. Because, guys, I'm going to be real with you and tell you when I fail. Guys, I failed. But guess what? It's easy enough to start over. And if you fail once, who cares? You can try again. So we're going to just basically do exactly what we were doing. We're going to put our piece right there. I can hear I don't know if it's a lamb or a goat bleating. I'm hopeful that those dogs aren't up there pestering them. Guys, like I say, I love all creatures, but they're going to have to respect. Because if they don't, they're going to learn. I ain't the one to mess with. I ain't the one. I am the one to avoid. I am a quiet man with a big stick. Now, something I have added in addition is I have taken my little cross stick and I put me a notch on either side. They aren't perfect. But guys, this is bushcraft. We ain't looking for perfect. If we wanted perfect, you know, go to the Dollar Tree. Buy your stuff there. Nope. See, my knot's not going to hold again. So guys, I'm going to have to come up with something different. I might have to actually use a different kind of cordage. This cordage doesn't seem to hold a knot terribly well. And I'm not tying a great knot anyway. Guys, I'm not the greatest knot tire. But in the meantime, though, let me get this fixed again. All right, guys, so attempt 3. Guys, I think that cordage just wasn't going to work for the things that I thought it was. So I've got a couple of old shoestrings that I took out of shoes forever ago. But guys, we're going to try our luck a third time with these. So again, I'm a little bit out of sorts because I kind of did almost get attacked by wild dogs. But again, we're just going to put it in our armpit. And I've got a longer amount of string, so I'm going to tie me a little different knot. I'm going to tie me an overhand to start with. And I'm going to tighten that down good. And then I'm going to put me a half hitch in it. And I'm going to take my end that controls my loop. See my loop going? I'm going to take that end and I'm going to put it through the loop so that the loop can't come through that knot. All right, got her tied, and I don't think she's going to go anywhere this time. And you can see I still have that one piece that I carved right where it should be. But guys, we're going to take our cross piece and we're going to tie it in. So again, you can see that my piece is trying to work its way out of alignment. But these strings here are going to hold a lot better. But you can see, now that I've got that in there, I'm going to take and tie that in. And I'm going to just come around my piece just like that with my ends, and I'm going to tie it on top. I've got a lot more string to work with, a lot more cordage, string, whatever you want to call it. So I don't have to really ration myself like I was with the other. It was a little too short. But guys, I'm not afraid to fail, and I'm not afraid to fail directly in front of you. All right, and we're gonna again take our spare loop and put through there. Now what we're gonna do with that, we're gonna go back and we're actually gonna tie this. When we lift this out, there's a little bit of gap. I'm gonna tie this where it's tied back against that other knot so that I don't ever have to worry about that. But you can see I don't have no connection here, so the first thing I'm gonna do is cross it over right at that connection. So that way I've got a connection on both sides, really solid. And I'm gonna come back under my piece. So you can see I went from on top, over and under my piece. And now I'm gonna work both of those in to that knot. I'm just gonna give me a little bit of gap and work my pieces in. And I'm gonna tie this back again. So you can see now I've got a really good solid connection there. And I'm gonna keep all my knots on one side, so I'm gonna tie it on that same side. See that I didn't have the right cordage, it wasn't working for me, and I was trying to ration myself a little too hard. Guys, this is the stuff you learn whenever you do this. I know how to do this, of course, but sometimes you have to step back and quit trying to cut yourself so short. But we're gonna use that same knot. Boom. Now you can see our piece is covered both sides, on both sides, and there's nice coverage. We've got a line pulling it back to there. So I don't think this is gonna go anywhere now. So now you have your tongs made, and I'm gonna put another flat on this side where it will not roll like it would if I just left it alone. I'm getting those flats to where my two flats come relatively close together. So you can see my pieces come good and close together. Now let's go down to to our fire ring, and let's see how it does actually working, because you can see we're working just fine. But let's go down to our fire ring right quick. All right, so we're down here at our fire ring. It is covered in trash, covered in trash. I'm gonna wrap this extra around my wrist because I'm not gonna cut this, but you know, if you were really doing this and gonna leave this like this, you would cut it. But say, Johnny Dumb has, Buddy has dropped his drink in the fire. You can pick that out, throw it away. Let's say you busted a piece of glass in the fire. You can pick that up and throw it away. You need to move a big piece of wood. You know, you have to kind of work it around, but you can pick up nice big pieces of wood. I need to move this rock. It's insulting me in some way. Boom, rock moved, not a problem. These coals, I'd like them to be closer together. I can do that, not a problem. Or, I want to burn stuff a little bit further in. I can pick that up, and these work great. Now, of course, after I do this, I don't want to use it for food. But if you were using this for food, you could do the exact same thing. But guys, let me get you over to where we just were, and we'll finish this up. All right, guys, so for the grand total of 3 sticks, couple of shoestrings, and 1 wild dog attack, you too could make good, functional bushcraft tongs. Guys, you saw we didn't even need all 3 of our tools. We didn't use our saw at all. We could have used our saw for this. We could have. But guys, you honestly could get by with just using a knife if you wanted to, because this is not big lumber. None of these pieces are much over the size of my thumb. You can see it's almost perfectly the size of my thumb, and they work great. Now, a few things on how to make these. 1, you have to use green wood. You cannot use dead wood for this. Dead wood is not flexible. It has no spring to it. So you can't use dead wood for this purpose. You can use it for many other things, but not this thing. But another thing, make sure you have more than one kind of cordage with you, or make sure you're a better knot tire than me, because guys, I fully admit I am functional, not professional. I am not the best knot tire. I'm not the great woodsman that a lot of other YouTubers might claim they are. They're like, oh yeah, you've got to do this thing. You've got to listen to me. I'm the expert. I'm not. I will very plainly tell you, I ain't the expert on much of anything. Now, can I do things? You bet. I can do stuff. You saw. I failed 3 times, twice. Granted, one time I was a little bit worried that I was going to have to fight off some dogs, so take that a grain of salt. But guys, after you're finished with your tongs, it's easy enough to undo these knots that I've done and to take this all apart. You don't have to leave your cordage behind. I've had most of my cordage, I use it, and then when I'm done, I take it back with me. Whatever it is I tie it up, I untie it, and I bring it home with me so that I can use it again on a project in the future. Because, guys, if you don't think about your future, you're not going to have much to go on. But, guys, just like that, all 3 of our sticks are apart, and we're ready to move on. All I have to do now is just take my cordage, roll it back up, cram it in a pocket, and I'm ready to go and do other things. Got a little bit of that soot on me. But guys, that's all there is to this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and hit the bell notification and subscribe. Guys, subscribing is the most important thing. It helps me and it doesn't cost you anything. But in the meantime, thanks again for watching. We'll see you somewhere in the woods or on the water.